in media my whole career. I started working at a startup, building online video streaming platforms back in the day where broadband was fairly limited and we were trying to do a lot with very little. Got really interested in the measurement side of that. How do we actually demonstrate that we're driving real value and ROI, not just for direct response purposes, but for brands in particular. That led me to Nielsen, where I built measurement products, which led me to ad tech, where I got a taste of Silicon Valley and what you can do with big data and AI to make real-time decisions in media buying, which led me back to the measurement space because we had a really big gap in the ad tech world at the time. There wasn't a way to optimize to brand the way that you could optimize to direct response, right? In direct response, you have a lot of different actions and triggers and signals that you can use to optimize in real time, but brand metrics were very limited. They were slow, they were costly, they were delivered 6 to 8 weeks after the campaign, and you couldn't get a read on granular tactics. And what Cint has is the largest global survey marketplace on the planet, where millions of people are coming into our platform to take surveys each day. And that provides a very unique data set and a signal for marketers, brands, and media clients to improve and optimize toward actual upper funnel goals, whether those are awareness, or consideration, or recall, right? We can actually talk to consumers, get their feedback, and then get that feedback back into the loop of media. I think about like the journey of consumer brands and just how hard it is to really understand like what's going to influence the consumer in the moment, like the moment of truth. And I think we're hearing along the lines of this in Cannes that AI and agentic is really changing the way consumers find and discover products. But these brands are still at the cutting edge, right, of reinventing those experiences and then, adapting to change. So I actually look at some of the legacy and established consumer brands for inspiration about how do we evolve our messaging, our products, and our capabilities to meet the needs of a changing market. So tons of agentic discussion, right? How do we make our workflows autonomous, but a lot about experimentation. And I mentioned this earlier, like AI relies on real ground truth and human feedback in order to be successful. You cannot let AI go on its own for a long time without getting a lot of noise or a lot of slop. So I think everyone is looking at ways that they could use these tools to improve their products, maybe try 1,000 different creative variations, right? Testing messages with synthetic personas, right? But at the same time, there's always a human layer checking every step of the way, and ultimately someone who has to have taste to give the AI the perspective, right? So I think it's going to be a really interesting time seeing how brands kind of fuse that creativity and that point of view and that sense of taste, right, with these tools, but ultimately can make better decisions because there's a lot more experimentation.